Phuket Variety on Radio Thailand Phuket 96.75 MHz. Golden Oldies, news about Phuket and national and international interesting items. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Radio Thailand Phuket on 96.75 MHz. I am Herman, your host for today, as well as every Saturday and Sunday evening from 5 till 6 p.m. We listen to Roger Whittaker with his most famous song, The Last Farewell, a song of 1971. It's a pity that Roger Henry Braw Whittaker, born in 1936, passed away last month on September 13. He was a British singer, songwriter and a musician. His music is an eclectic mix of folk music and popular songs, the latter variously in a crooning or in Schlager type. He is best known for his baritone singing voice and trademark whistling ability, as well as his guitar skills. The Time observed that some pop singers define the zeitgeist, and many more follow it. A much rarer number of them defy it, and Roger Whittaker counted himself proudly to and unapologetically among them. Despite not having sustained chart success, he gained a large international following through TV appearances and live performance, with fan clubs in at least 12 countries, including Australia, Canada, Great Britain, New Zealand, South Africa, and the United States. One of his admirers was the United States President, George Bush, at whose home he was invited to perform. Whittaker is best known international for his 1971 single The Last Farewell, which charted in 11 countries. In the United States, where the song was released 4 years later, it became his only entry in the Billboard Hot 100 and reached number 1 in the adult contemporary chart. Whittaker was widely known for his own composition, including Durham Town, The Leaving, and I Don't Believe If in Anymore. American audience are mostly familiar with his 1970 album New World in the Morning, and we regret that he is not anymore amidst us. Who is still amidst us? That's Neil Diamond, an American singer-songwriter, sold more than 130 million of records. He brings us Sweet Caroline, followed by the Scottish singer-songwriter Your Actual One, Lewis Capaldi, with Someone Loved You, a song of 2019. Music, maestro, please. Also, our next spot is on the Phuket pineapple, an GI product. Phuket pineapple is one of the agricultural products that have been certified as Geographical Indication Products, or GS. The pineapple is well known and has the potential to be promoted to sold to distribute income to local farmers. During the past COVID crisis, the Provincial Agriculture Office has promoted development of the production, products and innovations in order to compete and support tourism. The Phuket pineapple, with its delicious, unique taste and the production of it, should be promoted as a tourist attraction. During the COVID period, the Phuket pineapple farm of Mr. Ravi Ronkau, located in Tapsakri sub-district, has received GIP standards and overcame the COVID crisis by distributing directly to the consumers from the farm. By this way, the distribution and the marketing of the pineapple became to be known more and more. As we know, the Phuket pineapple has a unique flavor and has a large cylindrical body. The fruits have a uniform yellow flesh, a unique fragrance, and the fruit core is very crispy so that it can be eaten. This differs it from pineapples from other areas. Locals as well as tourists are very fond of it. Phuket Provincial Agriculture Office has promoted the production of the pineapple by stimulating also to use in other products, so the pineapple is used as a raw material for cosmetical and food products. By this way, they make it attractive for tourism in general and the agriculture tourism in specific. Its additional value to the commercial enterprise farmer groups and the products to generate income stability and to be more competitive. If anyone is interested and wants to taste the Phuket pineapple, you find it not only at the market, but you can buy it as a souvenir, or you go to the Phuket Pineapple Community Enterprise in Tapsakri Road, or you can acquire it by telephone number 06 2491 7978. And we go to the UK or Britain, let me say, in wider. We start with the Eurythmics, a UK pop duo formed in 1980 with Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart. They started in 80 and they still operate with interruptions. We bring off one of their toppers, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, and followed by the Irish rock band Dublin 1976 with Bono, U2 with Or Without You, a song of 1987. Spotlight on the Greater Bang Tao. The Tiger gives us an analysis about the research from C9 Hotel Works, in which they state Phuket, once quiet beachside West Coast community of Bang Tao, has experienced an unparalleled surge in real estate development. According to the new research from C9 Hotel Works, there are currently 7,842 condominiums units in this area. Added to a supply influx are just over 2,400 upscale and luxury homes, with equate to a pipeline of more than 10,000 residential units in the market. In what is a fragmented neighborhood of Bang Tao, Laguna, Changtale, and Layan, these areas traditionally formed what is a tourism-orientated districts. All of this is now changing, and the influx of real estate projects looks to recast the area as Phuket's Gold Coast in what is an emerging metropolitan area. Despite the methodological pace of property growth in the past 2 decades, the post-pandemic inward migration onslaught of expats has been nothing short of phenomenal. Inland land prices in the area have more than tripled over the past 24 months, where land that has been between 8 and 10 million a ray is now sold at 25 till 30 million. One of the key triggers in the property boom has been the Russian-Ukraine conflict. Something good about it, which has been supercharged what was already growing geographic source of business for tourists and real estate. Russian buyers now accounts for the lion's share of properties True, there continue to be a diversity in broader terms. Coupled with an incoming Eastern European growth is a steady stream of lifestyle buyers who are jumping into the urban flight trend to work from home and focus on quality of life from highly populated cities. There is a rapid rise of new residents from the United States, Singapore, Hong Kong, China and Europe. Key to the migration storyline has been the widely popular Thailand Elite long-term visa program, as well as the government-initiated retirement visa. A secondary demand generator has been the strong growth of international schools, which are now in double digits in size and expanding. These offer access to dependent and or guardian visas. Moving back to the makeover of Bang Tao from a tourist area to an international community, there is an escalation of residential properties in size versus hotels. C9's research showed that there are 2,836 rooms, key of international standard properties in the expensive area. They are now being dwarfed by property development, which create challenges and potential problem of unlicensed tourism accommodation. The Thailand Hotel Act, as it stands now, made it difficult and in many cases impossible for residential condominiums or villa estates to obtain hotel licenses. For condominiums, the conversion from residential use to commercial use that's required for the hotel license has been stymied at local improvement levels and remains a continuous issue. What is apparent with over 10,000 new properties coming up is that not all buyers will be end users or owners of holiday second homes. In many cases, residential buyers have expectation of a high entry fields from flourishing tourism in Phuket. And yet they might face problems in the future as projects lack hotel licenses. For the traditional hotel sector, there is a concern of unfair competition from the informal rental market. Realistically, the lack of licensing mechanism for residential property is putting the government at a substantial tax disadvantage, and funds that could be earmarked for badly needed infrastructure are an opportunity that is missed. Safety in non-licensed accommodation should also be critical for an area of concern. As to who is developing the upcoming project, they are comprised of three main groups. Laguna Phuket remains the largest land bank in the Greater Bantau area, and as it shifted focus from tourism to real estate as an economic necessity. With more protection in the main destination resort area, the company will also push into a new mixed-use community north of the Laguna villages. On the Thai Development Fund, post-COVID has seen Bangkok developers active such as CPM Central Patana, One Origin, Assetwise and Sun Siri. Local groups include both Patana, Botanica and Ancon. Given the escalation of land prices, the current state of play favors mid-rise condominiums as only the developers can make an economic case with the underlying land cost. For the third group, Eastern European or mainly Russian developers have flocked to the Bangkok area as market sentiment is at its highest level. These projects account for at least half of the total condominium units coming to the market due to the greater density of development. At the end of the day, rising land acquisition costs are spurring this trend. Another change for the Phuket property is the escalation of commissions, which remain under standards. In many of them, the new Bang Tao property that lack brand or strong customer base, commissions have risen to 7 to 10%, and in certain cases even a cash bonus up to 100,000 has been added to the incentive. Whereas more traditional projects would have seen lower commission and higher marketing costs, developers are now becoming massively reliant on a growing brokerage base. A growth spurt of tourism and Eastern European agent now sees projects chasing them from prospective buyers. Certainly, brokerage has taken central stage in the moment through their main acquisitions as of the depth of their customer base for long term. One good example of the underlying ground in brokerage is the leading portal was, which has established a strong base for online buyer generation. Lastly, larger property groups are closely watching the formation of a new Phuket development regulation. This is regulated by the Phuket Department of Public Works and Town and Country Planning, together with the Bangkok-based Ministry of Natural Resources, which oversees environmental relations. In C9's discussions with the expert on the draft plan was expected to formalize in 2024, there will be a greater alignment to the Bangkok-type rules that focus on floor area and ratio and higher minimum road width for mid-rise development. It's likely that given Phuket's growth, certain areas will be zoned for high-rise development. These changes, while needed, will come too late to address the growing traffic concerns. The addition of 10,000 new residential properties to the Bang Tao area will see an uptick of large construction vehicles, large-scale growth in the private vehicles, and it's a serious situation that has to become a government priority. Sadly, there's no blueprint structure for an expanding Bang Tao metropolitan district that crosses many local jurisdictions. The most caring immediate need is a traffic study and an action plan by the municipality and highway department. As a final point, one missing link in the growth of residential units is the lack of diversification of larger demand generators such as full-service hospital, central parking structures, commercial buildings, international convention centers, public parks, pedestrian-friendly access. This, of course, isn't hot with sky-high property prices that dedicate high-density properties to make economic sense. What is specifically needed is a Phuket master plan and an acceleration of transportation infrastructure. Bang Tao's journey into a metropolitan Gold Coast community is well underway, and we do expect a cyclical growth to continue into the high season. But is there also a tendency to wonder, when does the market peak and what comes next? What comes next is easy for us, that are two American groups were very popular in the 80s. We are now the next one is Guns N' Roses, a hard rock band from California, 1985. Emerging between the band Hollywood Rose and L.A. Guns. They bring us Knocking on Heavenly Doors, a song from 1991, following by the rock band from the United States, Georgia, 1980, one of the alternative rock bands, R.I.M., with Losing My Religion.